Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you so much for watching On the Town with Tanya again. Welcome back. For those of you who don't know, today we have an echo, and I have no idea why. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh, that's really weird. Wow. Uh,
I don't hear an echo if on
okay.
my end.
Is this a delayed response? That means, okay. That means we're not compatible. That's really, I don't even know what to do. Hmm. Guys, forgive me for 1 second. That's unusual. Uh, hmm. Let me see if this, let me just hit the intro. You don't hear the echo. Well, I hope you guys tell me if you hear it out there. Tell me if you hear the huh? Joe, do you hear an echo? Hmm. He didn't say anything yet. Okay, so let me see. So again, guys, I apologize. It's a technical thing. I just closed one of the apps. Maybe that's what it was because I don't hear it now. So I apologize. No echo. See, he didn't hear it either, but I heard it. But it can drive someone insane to hear themselves.
Especially when it's you talking. Yes,
Exactly.
absolutely.
So my apologies for that. I apologize to all of Tanya's fans out there as well. So forgive me. That was our side, technical difficulty. So today's guest, as I was getting to before the echo interrupted me, is a national IFBB figure competitor. She is a fitness instructor, and most importantly, she has embarked on a new journey with her supplements, all sport pharmaceuticals, nutritional supplement business. So please welcome the lovely Tanya Wheatfall. Hello.
Thank you. I'm
How are
happy to
you?
be here.
Thank you so
I
much for
appreciate it.
putting up with my echo.
We didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. So it was on my end. It was all good. But like you said, I know how frustrating that could be, especially when you're like hearing yourself repeat back to yourself. So
Yes. So thank you so much for
yeah.
that. I really appreciate you. So now fitness training. How did you get into fitness as a whole? What led you to that field?
Yeah, you know what? Bodybuilding wasn't something like I have, a lot of colleagues and friends, where like, and where they're like, hey, this is what I wanted to do for a really long time. And they've started out having an affinity for that, for weightlifting and just wanting to go into that journey. Me, on the other hand, I mean, the foundation of the competitive athletic nature was there, just from being in sports in high school and being in track and field. That competitive nature was there, but not necessarily like the disciplinary aspect of everything that goes into what you have to
Right.
do when training for bodybuilding. And it's not just going to the gym, because a lot of us can say, hey, we enjoy working out, that's fun, so I'm going to go ahead and compete. But it's all the other things that come along with that, right? It's the early hours, it's the very strict regimented daily schedule, it's the late nights sometimes, it's the repetitive nature of what you have to do, right? So
Right.
I feel like it's really a disciplinary level that you have to take yourself to, that I wouldn't even have thought I would have to take myself to something like that, right?
Right.
In terms of what you have to eat, the things that you know have to do.
Right.
It could be a lot. So all that to say, that's not anything that I was thinking about, when I was younger, right? So once I graduated from college, I had my kids. I
You
was
like kids? Wait. Newsflash, guys. Wait. You guys have to go to her site. Wait, is that pictures that I've seen on Instagram on your sites anywhere? Because
yeah, there it's
kids.
yeah, there. I mean,
No
you'd have to
way.
probably do a little bit of scrolling, but yeah, they're on there. They're on there. I have, yeah,
What?
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I do.
You're my new Shiro. That's it. I am done. I am done.
Yep.
Is it possible at 50? 50 years old
Oh,
to do that?
100%. That's actually when people start. They
Okay.
actually will start at
Really?
at that age, right?
Really?
And something that people don't find, that they have an interest in until later, and that's totally fine because those are a lot of the people that are doing well.
Mhm.
So yes, so I had my kids. So I have a set of twins. They're 14.
Wait. Wait, stop the presses. You have twins?
I do. I
Guys, you
do.
don't see what she looks like, but I wish I would have known. I would have pulled up that Instagram and had it waiting for me. Go to Instagram, go to her page. What was it? Tanya Wheatfall. Oh, what was the page on Instagram?
Yep. Nope. It's Tonya __
Wait,
Andrea.
Tonya.
Yeah.
T-O,
It's
your TA too?
TONYA
Uh-huh.
__
Underscore
Andrea, like my name in the little box there.
Andrea,
Hmm.
and that's it. That's on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
where and that's probably where I'm the most
I'm gonna
active. So
put
that's
that.
probably where.
Okay, that's why. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, you'll see
See, but
the
I'm gonna see. Go to her page and tell me, does she look like she ever birthed anyone or anything? Plus, as twins? No way. Come on.
I
Are you
do.
and
I'm
you
sorry.
and you did this all on your own.
Correct. Yeah. Yep.
I'm
Yep.
impressed. I'm
Yeah.
impressed. I'm very impressed because I'm telling you, as a mom, and I've seen women when they have cesareans, it's hard to get that flat belly
It
back,
is.
but the competitors always manage to do it, and that's
They-
and without surgery.
Exactly. And that's just right. The consistency, right? So a lot of us are like, oh my God, I can't, for that, but, worked with a lot of moms and things like that. And so that's the first thing that they say, but it's
Wow.
the consistency piece, right? So it's a consistency with the lifestyle, not even dieting, right? Because when we
Right.
say diet, normally we're thinking of like 4 weeks, 6 weeks, this and then stop. But
Right.
it's got to be like a lifestyle change and the consistency with the eating combined with the exercise.
Exactly.
And so that's where a lot of people kind of like we were chatting before about like people like I want to do this, but it's that mindset that kind of drops off that they're like, oh, it's it's a little difficult. It's a little difficult. It's not what I'm used to.
Right.
It's challenging.
Right.
So some we get some people that hit that wall that it's like it's challenging, and they don't realize how much of a lifestyle change it really is.
Yes.
To see those effects, right? So that's where the discipline mindset comes in. So after I had my twins, and then I had an 11-year-old, right? So after I had my 3 girls, it was just like, you know what? Oh God, I was like that. I hate using the word skinny fat, but just, eating kind of whatever, right? Like I wasn't necessarily, eating awfully, but eating kind of whatever I wanted, right?
Right.
And then,
Right. Right.
still kind of going to the gym here and there. But after I had my last child in 2012,
Well.
I came across, I started going to 24-hour fitness, and I was like, okay, let me just give this a try, get back in the gym, get back being active, get back to being healthy, not
Right.
skinny, but healthy, right?
Health,
There's a difference.
right.
So, and I met this girl, I'll never forget. Her name was Nicole, and I still follow her on Instagram. She's friends, and she was a group fitness instructor.
Mhm.
And she taught this class called Body Pump. And I would go in there and see her, and I'm like, how, and she was a mom too. She had 2 boys, and I was like, that's fantastic. I mean, her frame, her shape, the amount of muscle that she had on her, I really liked. And
Mhm.
so I just kind of started talking to her. I was like, hey, what is it that you're doing? Is it in here that, you're doing that? Is it a trainer that I need to work with? And she said that she had started bodybuilding, and she, really just fell in love with it. And she was just like, oh, you might like it. You're in shape, you've got kind of a look for it. And I was just like, at that point, I was like, okay, why not? Since that's what I'm trying to do anyway. My goal is to get in shape. And I was like, why not try and do something, why not have fun while doing it fun? I use that term loosely because
Right.
some could say it's fun, some could say it's not so fun,
Exactly.
right? So that year, that had to be 2014 when I met her.
Mhm.
And then started really developing an interest in bodybuilding, which at that point, it wasn't really trending like it is now. I would tell my friends about it, especially women, and they're like,
No. Yeah. I don't want to look like the man.
Exactly. Like, are you sure?
Especially when you have my face. I already look like my dad. It's
Oh,
like,
stop.
no, thanks.
Yeah. And it's like, are you sure about this? And I'm just like, I'm gonna give it a try because I said this, I wanted to start this anyways.
Mhm.
So I might as well give it a try. And so it really, Tanya, was just something that fell into my lap in 2014. I did my first show. And
What?
gosh, I met so many like-minded and encouraging and inspiring people. And it's just like, man, if I have a goal that I'm trying to set for myself, this is the type of energy, these are the type of mindsets
Mhm.
that being around,
Mhm.
is really going to help me, progress and do what I want to do. And so it just fell in my lap 2014. And then from there, so you mentioned, we were talking before, you mentioned NPC. So that is correct.
Yes.
So National Physique Committee is
Uh,
the amateur level, right? So that's when you're just getting started. You're getting your feet wet in the industry. You're doing shows locally, right, to your region, whether that's Texas, Oklahoma, California,
uh,
Florida, whatever.
you have to be a
And
sponsor for all this, right?
yes, yes, you do. That's the
Like, it's
objective,
like
right?
I used to model and do
Yeah.
pageants before the Miss America thing, and
Yep.
I stopped at some point. But you have to get all these sponsors. Yeah.
And you don't have to, Tanya, but it helps. It's so helpful because everything is so expensive from, your suit that's could be thousands of dollars. Maybe you're traveling somewhere to do a show.
Right.
Your food is very expensive. I mean, per week it could get very expensive. Gym memberships, all of that adds up, right?
Right.
To
Right.
expense that you didn't have before. And now you
Right.
have thousands of dollars worth of expenses here, just kind of fell into your lap. And so you're like,
Wow.
okay, now we got to figure this thing out. So it's very, very helpful to have those sponsorships to keep it as enjoyable as it can, because you don't want it to be stressful. So
Right.
it can be strain on your finances, right? And
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how much money you make. It is
Mhm.
a strain on your finances 150%. It is such a big, big, big financial responsibility every week, every month, that type of thing. So that's when, those sponsors and things like that can really come in handy.
Right. And you have to
And then
marry well.
so, I'm sorry.
You have to marry well.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly.
I'm a
There you
comedian,
go.
so
I
forgive
like
me.
that. I like that. You have to marry well.
Here,
Yes,
honey.
exactly.
You're perfect. No, I'm kidding.
Exactly.
Joking,
Exactly.
guys. Well, I just think that I mean, there's so many women getting into this now. And it's amazing.
There is.
Amazing. My idol is Ernestine.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I was like, she was like, yeah, 50 something. My sister died of a heart attack, and I
Yep,
was like,
I
I'm not
follow her.
love
Yep, yep,
her.
and she looks great, and she's like, what,
80, no,
70s?
like 80 now.
80s. Okay, 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 okay,
At least.
okay.
I
Yeah,
think
this
you got to
is
be at
like,
least 80 by now.
I know, and I was like,
Mm.
that's gonna be me.
When I
Still
can
still
see it
getting it
for
in.
sure. Look at you. I mean, God,
It's
when I saw this picture, I was like, oh, those are just pictures. But in person, I'm like, wait a minute, girl looks exactly the same. Ain't nothing changed. I'm like mine. You'd be like, who the hell is that? No,
no, not at all, not at all,
it's a
not
joke.
at
I'm a
all.
comedian, so I'm always making something funny. But you know what I'm saying. You really look exactly like your picture.
That's good. That's good because there's a lot of that on Instagram. Where it's like people
Yes.
post a picture and you're like, what happened to that?
Yes.
That's not right. Exactly. There's a
I'm
lot.
guilty. I snap everything. So when you see me, I am lying most of the time. This is the real,
Mm-hmm.
and it is what it is. But it's mine is in fun. I don't do it because I'm trying to be somebody else. I just do it.
Sure.
I don't ever want to get Botox, and I don't ever want to get surgery. So I can pretend, right?
Exactly. I like that, right? Exactly. And you don't need it. No, we don't need it.
That's
So
it. But another thing you've done that's very unusual, you've ventured into the nutrient world of vitamins or
yeah,
supplements. We'll say, tell me the correct term, supplements,
of course.
which is really serious because now you're not only saying, "Hey guys, we got to change the mind, change the body, change the eating," but you're actually offering something that
Yeah,
go with that.
for
How did you get
sure.
into
For sure. Because a lot of us, I mean, we naturally produce a lot of this stuff, right?
that? Right.
We're naturally, producing different things. Like take for example, I don't know, my mind's coming to a blank, but we naturally produce a lot of the things that we need to
Like
build muscle.
lecithin, or like you name natural things in our body that we use.
Exactly. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Naturally produce those things that are going to help us build muscle. I'm
Right.
sorry, I'm laughing at the
My friend, yeah.
the
Thank you, girl.
um but but when you're trying to build and maintain, muscle in a certain frame, and when you're trying to reach a goal, where maybe we're not getting enough of the protein that we need, just
Right.
naturally, or maybe we're not eating enough of it. We don't have time. We're busy. You're like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough time to get this in. I don't have enough time to get in my greens. I know that I'm not eating enough veggies because I don't like veggies, or I don't, right? I know that I'm not getting enough, collagen. I know I'm not producing enough of certain things,
Right.
right? So those supplementations that are out there,
Right.
that can absolutely help us get those in like pill form, powder form, when we don't necessarily have the time to just sit or even remember to
Right.
include those things on our plate. So um, I used to be sponsored by a couple of different supplement companies that I took, and I take supplements every day, right?
Okay.
Every single day,
Okay.
I'm taking a supplement, and
Okay.
that could be things that help us like naturally burn fat. That could be things that naturally help us build protein, or uh, get more protein, right, in our bodies to build more muscle, things like that. So I would be sponsored by these companies, and I would take them all the time. And you're promoting these companies, and people are asking you, they want to know. They're like, hey, what's the best supplement for this? They want to know exactly how you can help them.
Right.
And I was like, gosh, I'm just spending a lot of time promoting other supplement companies,
Yeah.
and people are like, hey, what are you using? How can you help me? And I'm
Right.
like, instead of doing that, I mean, granted, I love this, I still love the supplement companies, and I absolutely still order supplements from like Optimum Nutrition and things like that.
Right.
But I was like,
Good plug.
how can I, yeah, like, right, how can I, really, really, really help people, on my end? But I mean, not to say that how can it benefit me, but I'm like, hey, if I'm getting this question over and over and over and over and over, and I'm
Right.
like, it makes sense, right?
Right.
And that way I know what's in it, I know what I'm taking, I know how I can promote it, things like that. So
Right.
yeah, this past December,
Mhm.
I decided to create all sport pharmaceuticals, and it was all of the supplementation that I take, right? So I know how it helps you, I know that how it can benefit the people that were asking me, clients, going forward. So
Mhm.
it was kind of a no-brainer to
Right.
kind of mix the love of, it's already what I do, it's already what I talk about, right? It's
Exactly.
already what I'm knowledgeable about. So it wasn't like I'm just coming in just making
Right.
up some company, you know what I'm saying, that I didn't
You're
have.
actually the brand. So, and your
It,
body shows that just something's working for you.
exactly. So I
Now,
was
how
like,
do you? Yeah.
oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. How do you verify that the supplements are good for us? Because, like, like there was a time where some things were not so great for us, our liver and la, all the things
Yeah,
that.
and it's just the natural products, because you can look at a lot of supplements, right? And there's a lot of tons of
Us.
things you can't
Oh,
pronounce in that. There's a lot of additives in that. But
yes.
just keeping the products as natural as humanly possible. Because when you think about it, I talk to my friends all the time, like, not everybody wants to, like, there's certain things that they could put in bodybuilding supplements that enhance things in a way that only you maybe want enhanced while you're actually bodybuilding. And the
Right.
majority of the people that I'm talking to, they're just like, hey, I'm just looking for a healthy, natural way
Right.
to get these nutrients in me, right, that I don't have enough of.
Right.
And so that's really the general way that I want to go to help the masses, because the masses aren't trying to get on stage and look like maybe some of those pictures that you might have seen, like, if that makes
Yes.
sense, right?
I think
So
they'd like to, but they're not going to do the work.
no, 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 and right, exactly,
They
exactly,
want the
exactly. And the
work.
thing is, you can't just take supplements and look like that, right? It's got to be all of the things
Combination.
that go along with that,
Yeah.
right?
That's
And a lot
a
of people, I
combination.
think that they think that that's the case.
Yes.
Okay, just give me something to spot this, give me something to do this,
Yes.
and most of those things, that's not even what they're designed to do anyway.
No.
They're designed to, yeah, augment, um, you
Compliment and
know,
help. Yeah.
the
Enhance or help. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
and work in conjunction with what
Yeah.
you've got going on in terms
Right.
of creating a lifestyle that's going to help you obviously get to whatever it is that you want to get to, like working out, eating right, those types of things.
Yeah. Now, when you do your fitness part, bodybuilding part, well, no, that's not the correct term. Figure competing
Yeah,
part.
bodybuilding parts, right? That works
It's
too.
okay. Okay, I wasn't sure. Do you do competitors have to like check their liver, make sure everything's fine, make sure all their stuff
Sure.
up
Oh
and
yeah, that's probably the main thing. That's probably the main thing, regardless of what you take. And
up.
there's, lots of yep. You can go get your blood work done at any time, and that's probably recommended, regardless, right? Checking testosterone levels, estrogen levels, that type of
Right.
thing. So that's good for just overall health. Like some people's testosterone levels, even in women, are like super low.
Right.
And then right, obviously they need to get maybe not necessarily put on medication, but obviously you'll want to monitor, those different types of levels, and right, and liver, depending upon what you're taking, that type of thing. So that's good to get checked, blood work levels. At
Right.
least I'm really bad about it. I'm gonna say, but at least to get checked at least a
Yeah.
couple of times a year so that you could monitor those levels and then start eating the right foods, because
Right.
some doctors could recommend different foods that you can eat,
Right.
obviously different supplements that you can take, and things like that. So
That's what I was going to ask. So if I'm a vegetarian, what would you suggest for somebody like me if I was a vegetarian and I say I want to start being a figure competitor or something, or even just start working out? Is there anything specific for vegetarians that you would tell them that you wouldn't maybe necessarily tell a meat eater?
Oh, there's a lot. I mean, obviously they're not eating like whole meats,
Right.
but there's a lot of different like
Proteins.
protein
Right.
dense
Right.
like foods that you can eat. Obviously
Like
that's
quinoa.
in
Like quinoa.
exactly. Yeah, protein dense foods that you could eat. And so obviously it's going to be a lot different.
Okay.
Obviously you're eating like pea based proteins. You're not drinking like the dairy
Right.
proteins or anything like that. So
Yeah.
it's definitely doable. There's quite a bit. There actually is quite a bit of
Okay.
bodybuilders that are vegetarian, and so obviously, I mean, obviously that would just be based on what you've been eating in the past,
Yeah.
things like that. They can tailor, um, your meal plan and
Okay.
construct that to
Okay.
to make it work for you.
What do you do to find or vet out new clients, potential clients?
You, I, I've, I've been in this industry a while. I think, to where you can kind of see who's serious or not, right? Once you talk to them about, okay, this is exactly what this entails. And so a lot of the part that's going to get most people,
Mhm.
is one, the financial piece. I'll be completely honest about that.
Yeah.
And then two, the repetitiveness of what you have to eat every day. People want options. They want
That's
to do this and do that. And the
oh,
thing about bodybuilding, like, people come to me and be like, well, what do you mean? This is going to be easy for me. I eat fish all day. I eat chicken all day. I eat
mhm.
turkey all day. Okay. You could eat some chicken, but it's fried. You might eat some
Right.
chicken, but it's got this sauce on it. Right. You know what I'm saying? You might eat this, but it's got a bunch of seasoning on it. Like,
Right.
it is very, 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 very regimented. It's a very regimented diet. And
Uh,
I mean, that's designed to help you lose fat, right? In conjunction
right.
to everything else that you're doing. So while we're thinking in our minds, like, oh, yeah, I am eating chicken. Yeah, I am eating fish, but it's not to the level and portion size too. Like,
Right.
it's not just like I'm eating, you could be eating chicken, but you're eating chicken until you're full,
Okay.
right? Versus like, okay, I've got to portion out my meals, my 5 to 6 meals a day.
Okay.
Those have to be portioned to 5 ounces, 6 ounces.
Wow.
However, it all is going to depend on your goals and how much you weigh and how tall you are and all that.
Wow.
But I think that once you really dive in and kind of let people know about the dietary restrictions and the financial piece, bake
Right.
is more healthy. It is baking food is definitely more healthy
Yes.
than frying it or something like that, for sure. So yes, I think that those two pieces are going to be the most challenging,
Right.
for people, especially if they want to do well, because you have people doing this for different reasons. Like, some people are like, hey, maybe I'm 60 and I want this, I put this as a bucket list item, and I want to go compete and set a goal for myself that I can do this, which is great. But there's people that are like, hey, I want longevity in this. I want to try and go reach professional status. I want to go try and go to the Olympia and different things.
Wow.
And that's where, like, where it's the expense. It'll be definitely a lot more expensive
Wow.
for you. Mhm.
Gosh, I can't believe it's so expensive because it's like really. I mean, I never hear shows, but I know people competing, so I'm like, I know there's something, and they're making money. That's the good
Mhm.
part. That's the good part. If you get it higher up, you make money.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like golfing. Same thing. Uh,
Absolutely.
but
Absolutely.
what was it I going to say? So if so age does not matter.
Nope. Not at
Okay.
all.
Okay.
In
So
fact, they have different categories if you're comfortable. So
mhm.
there's different categories. So they have so if you're say you're competing, so say Tanya's doing her first show and she's
Okay.
going to a show, an NPC amateur show and competing for the first time.
Okay.
There's different categories. So say she's competing in the figure division. So she can compete. Tanya can compete in an open division or a masters division. So
Okay.
open division is anybody, all age. You're up there on stage, and the person next to you could be 19, and the person next to you could be 59. But
Wow.
if you do a masters, then you're which is what a lot of people feel comfortable with is competing up against people in their age range. So
Okay.
they'll have some like a maybe a 35 to 45, 35 to 40,
Right.
40 to 45. Like, hey, I feel more comfortable up here not standing next to a 19-year-old or not standing because my goal is different than theirs,
Okay.
like, so yeah, so there are
Getting elasticity. In most cases, I'm just saying. Sorry, ladies.
so
Except for
something
Ernestine.
like that. Yeah, it's just depends on yeah.
Ernestine's messing around with them 19-year-olds. Have you seen it? I mean, I saw her on Oprah or wherever, one of them shows, and I was like, "Is that real?" And Oprah was like, "It's real." I was like, "Wow, wow,
Yeah,
that is amazing!" Like it's amazing what the body can do if you train it.
that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. And
I
it
mean,
has to be consistent. It cannot
yes,
be just, you know what I'm saying, like a month or so. Like you can do anything. It's
right,
just that mindset. It's just got to be there because if it's not there, if you're
right.
just saying like if you just like the idea, then
Mhm.
then you'll
Oh, it'll come out.
you'll
Trust
hit a
me. After
wall.
the first week, you'll be like, "I give up."
100%. That's
Yeah.
it. You're right. Right there.
Well, that's to me. I think this is something that's a calling, and you discover it, and it
Yes.
discovers you.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. It
Yeah,
discovers you.
yeah, and
It
you
does.
can't. It's like so I equated to like doing my comedy. I did not want to do comedy. I only wanted my own late night TV show, and they told me that's the only way to get it. So that's how I started doing stand up. I mean, I've been
Mhm.
writing, but I was like, I'm not getting on a stage. Why do I have to prove anything to anybody? And they were like, you. That's where they look for people, idiot. So I was
Absolutely.
like,
Right. Yeah. Sure.
same
Sure.
thing with
Sure. Same
bodybuilding
thing.
and
Yes.
fitness. If you really like it, you may say today I don't want to go work, go run 5 o'clock in the morning, but because you want it so bad and you love it so much, that overriding you will get you up and make you do it, even though it's 5 a.m., even though you got to go to work at 7 and you got the kids and the dog and the cat. And you say, I'm gonna do this because this is what I got to do. It's
This is what I
really,
have to do.
yeah,
No other, there's no option. If I
no.
want this is what I have to do.
Yes,
Yep.
discipline it because also you see the end goal in your field. That's what
That's
I
it.
like. I mean, you see, oh, I've been working out and I don't have to say nothing. I don't have to
Exactly.
say anything. If
That's
I've been doing this for years, just look at my body. It speaks for itself. Thank you.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. No
And
words are really necessary. That's
no,
right.
you should see
Exactly.
my face when I went to your page. When I put everybody else. So I was like, oh, fitness and fitness. All right, let me see. Why fitness? Whoa, whoa. She is the put her into Oxford. Just plant her right there in Oxford under fitness. Perfect. Whatever else you want to put in there. Yeah, just put her there. I was like, oh my gosh, what? Oh my god. I was like, I mean, I wasn't shocked because I know that's what you do. And people usually I've only seen maybe one or two people that said, "Oh, I do this," and I'd be like, "Oh, really?"
Exactly. Right. No.
I
Yes.
was like,
Exactly. Like exactly. Yes.
"What
Yes.
level would that be?" But but
Exactly.
but that's very rare. And even then, I was like, "I ain't judging. I'm not judging. I'm not here to judge.
How
I'm here
funny.
to just share the information, whatever." But your picture was like, "What?" I mean, wait, what? And now you said you had twins. I was like, "You lying, girl? You lying?"
Yeah, yep. They're there. Yes. And it's cool that they they love it, they enjoy it. They've been to shows before and they are very, very so like I said, it's what women are like, really, I don't want to look like it, this, that, and the other, but it is great how proud and supportive they are of
Right.
me in that regard. I love it.
That's it. That's so support is real. Support is real. So if I want to work out or if I want to try this whole new thing, famous question: before I work out, should I stretch? Do you stretch?
Yeah, of course, of
Yeah.
course, of course, of
Okay.
course.
Do you do
Um,
yoga too, or just like?
no, you know what? I actually taught Pilates for 9 years.
Yes, I saw that.
I
Wow.
did. I taught it before, right, but that's kind of also what led me into like I taught on this machine in
Mhm.
which a lot of the exercises you can do like in the gym, right? Like you can do
Right.
like squats on it, you can do curls
Right.
on it, you can do lunges on it. And I
Mhm.
was like, we're going to take this, we're going to dive a little deeper into
Right.
this
Okay.
and then see what else I can do.
Mhm.
And so that actually allowed for, I really like that. I really miss it. It's just that when you get so wrapped up into like lifting,
Yes.
you forget about the benefits of like Pilates and yoga and those types of things. So
Right.
it is absolutely crucial, especially, doing lower body parts that you stretch those muscles out. And then I like to start out obviously with like a lower weight, right? But for,
Okay.
people you see and people injured all the time, they just think they could just jump in with like this
Oh,
heavy
yep. I
weight.
can lift that.
Yeah.
My back. Yeah.
Yes.
No.
So
No.
stretching, I would highly recommend that for sure.
Nice.
Mhm.
Okay. I used to work at a gym for 7 years, I think. I think 5 or 7 years, something like that. I worked
Oh
for
yeah.
a long time,
Yeah.
yeah. So I got to watch trainers. People used to think I was a trainer because I was really fit then. Not anymore. But, I mean, to the world I am, but to me, I'm like, no, I'm not on my A game because I used to be athletic. So I'm
Oh,
used to
awesome.
that regimen of like, okay, you got to get up, you got to eat this, you got to do that. And then I just fell off the last 6 months, kind of. Not fell off compared to everybody else. I'm great. But between you and I, it's like,
Yes.
girl,
Like
what are you
I
doing?
know what I used to do and what level I used to be at, and
Yes.
I'm not, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I'm about to go. I'm about to go with this. The kids say beasting on it because I'm so inspired by people like you, and I see Ernestine, and then I met this 80-something-year-old lady who started roller skating.
Okay.
I was like,
Staying
girl, what?
active.
Don't they tell y'all gonna be bringing bones or something like that? She was
Now
like,
me,
they
I
tell me,
would.
I don't
I would
believe it.
I would break bones. Absolutely.
I was rollerblading since I was 18 years old. I'm 50. I'm 58.
Same.
Hashtag 40. And I'll be 40 forever. Until I get 80, then I'll say maybe I'm 50. But I roller skating is the one thing I don't have to think about. I'm exercising. Give me some music, a beatbox, and let's go. Central Park, let's all day, every day. That's what I love doing. So I
That's a
just
lot of
got
fun.
yeah, yeah. I just got my Roxy rollers, and it's about to be on, even in the winter. As
Nice.
long as there's no snow, you'll be see me skating around. That's one thing. Because the gym, I'm trying to get to the gym, but it's kind of complicated. Let's say I'm working on that. I like working out at home or in the park, but
Sure.
and actually in some parts of London they actually have the workout in the park, which I love.
Okay,
The
yeah,
whole
it
gym right
all
there.
works.
Yeah. So I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna figure it out one way or another. What's your least favorite exercise if you had to pick one? That's the one I
Least
threw in there. I was like, what?
least favorite, I would say, and I don't want to. I will say like squatting. It's the least favorite. My least favorite because it's the most compound, but is the most effective.
Oh,
I
squatting.
mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because of the
Yes.
thighs, right?
Yep, it's the most compound.
Okay.
That's because you move many body parts. So you got your core, your low back, your hamstrings, your glutes, your quads.
Right.
But it is the most effective. It's the most effective exercise for muscle building, for low back strength,
Oh,
core strength,
oh,
all the things.
oh,
And it doesn't even necessarily people think you have to squat with like a bunch of heavy weight. Like you don't. It's just
right,
the movement. Since it's such a compound movement, you don't need a lot of weight, right?
right.
Yeah, because all those muscles are going to be working simultaneously. So
Wow.
you don't need a lot of weight. But I say it's the worst one because I do put some weight on it. It's compound, you get out of breath, a lot of oxygen expenditure, that type of thing.
Yes. And
But it is
the burn is real. Have you ever done
Yep, yep. You can use it, and you can do squats with like bands. You don't even have to put a bar on your back. There's different types of ways you can do them, and that's why it's so effective. Because people are like, I can't do it because my back, or I can't do it because of this, and you don't have to have a bar, right? You could put the bands,
right,
around your knees, and to add more resistance and tension. It doesn't have to be, a heavy bar, weightlifting bar, and things like that. There's many ways you can do a squat and have it be just as effective.
what about if someone has a knee that's not so great? Is there
Oh,
something else they can do?
yeah, yeah, yeah. You can do them, up against the wall. You can have a little, yeah, like you do like wall squats, wall sits, to where, yeah, it's not so much tension on the knee.
Okay. What about so how many days a week do you like to work out? And what should the average person you be working out at? How many days a week?
Typically, I mean, I'm typically doing 5, but I think it's just kind of whatever people are comfortable with. Like, typical might be 3 to 4,
Okay.
kind of like whatever they're feeling, especially if they're, just getting into it. It's 3 to 3, to 4 is not an overwhelming number.
Mhm.
It's something that's manageable, right? You can skip a day in between,
Right.
get your rest in, skip a couple days in between. So it's not like you're going like 6, 7 days,
Right.
because that could be a lot, especially like you said, with somebody who has an injured knee or something like that. So
Right.
it's good to have that, because recovery is even more important than you actually lifting the weight, right? Especially if you're trying to if build a muscle or toning even is your goal.
Right.
That
Mhm.
rest is super important.
Wow. And where does food and nutrition fit into to this, and vitamins? Where does it fit into? Because that people, like you said, people get in thinking it's just one thing when it's a
Hmm.
layer of things.
Oh, everywhere. Oh,
Mhm.
everywhere. And so what I tell people, and because people are like, well, what specifically should I be eating in order to, and it's not, and we know what we shouldn't be eating. We know we shouldn't be going to McDonald's, or we know we shouldn't
Right.
be going out to eat once 5 times a week or whatever.
Right.
But what I tell people, yeah, 3 to 4 is good.
Three to
And
four.
so what I tell people is I try and stay away from the lean, or stay away from, I try to really eat the leanest meats possible. And that's like, you can see the amount of fat in your food, right? So that's like lean turkey,
Right.
lean chicken, shrimp is actually even good for you. White fish is good for you. And white fish is like cod, tilapia, those types of things. And then
You
even
know, I
lean.
don't eat stuff for certain things, so somebody like me is gonna have a hard time because like tilapia is man-made, so I don't eat that.
It is, and you don't have to eat fish. I mean, you can stick to the lean meats like the turkey and the chicken
Okay.
and whatever, even shrimp is good. Like obviously, pork is not good. So certain
Wow.
types of
No,
lots
it
of
absorbs to your skin.
and so just think of animal fat being not good. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to
Yes,
stay away from
hard
like
to process.
processed food, lots of animal fat,
Yeah.
that type of thing. So
Okay. Have you ever tried doing what do you call it? A beginner's workout food book, a book, like not a book, but just something like give it like 10 basic meals or 15 basic meals that anybody can do that's starting out, or just your version.
no, but that's a good idea. So I'm going to do it.
You should. You really should. That's the first time I'd be like, so what do you, instead of answering 500 times a day, so what do I eat, coach? Coach, what do I eat? And it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
have a good
Well,
time today. Instead of being
yeah.
like, why don't you just buy the book, or get the ebook or whatever you want, however you want to do it. It's easy.
That's
But
actually a great idea. No,
yeah,
I
I
love
think
it.
it would be fabulous because I'd love to know, and anybody new definitely who has no idea, they need all the elements, and I realize a lot of people just don't know. So
That's right. They don't.
they
Yeah.
don't. They have no clue, and it's okay. But it's important when we're in any field to know all elements because you might get hit with one of them, and then it's like,
Exactly.
ugh, I helped you, but then I don't know what should you eat? I don't know.
Right, exactly.
That won't work.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
if you get that book, let me know and come back on here and promote it. So
Absolutely.
what? How do you make it fun for clients when you take on a client?
Um, how do I make it fun for them?
Mhm.
Let's see. Well, the foods. So I like to give them options
Mhm.
of what they can, because it's one thing when you like okay, here's this, and you can only eat these foods, right? And for bodybuilding, that is something that you don't have the option of doing, right?
Right,
Saying, hey, can I eat this or can I eat that, because it has to be this.
right,
But yeah, like like a lifestyle client, that you give them options like of like food that they like to eat, that within reason, right? Like, and then, add in, okay, this sauce, maybe you can have this sauce or certain things. So give them options within reason. Because obviously a lifestyle client is going to be different than somebody who's doing a really strict bodybuilding
right,
plan.
right.
So yeah, just giving them options of different, and give different recipes. Now that I will, but I don't have like to your point, like, okay, if you're trying, like, this is the 10
Right,
easy things for you to eat or whatever.
right.
Yeah, so just giving them different options with their food,
Good.
letting them kind of have fun with it a little bit, and
Okay.
then mixing up their exercises, not making it so mundane, like, okay, day one, do only this, day two, do only this, that type of thing. So just
Right,
mixing up on their foods, and their workouts, and then giving them options so that
right,
they still know what to do,
right,
but they don't have to stick to like that exact same thing.
right. Wow. And what have you had any really amazing success stories? Like someone came in and was this way, and then after 8 months or a year or 6 months, whatever it was.
Oh yeah, sure. And I have and I've had probably more competitors than anything, that'll come to me like completely however many pounds, I don't know, let's just say, I don't know, 190, right? And then, they're for a show, you've got to get down to a certain level of body fat, and they'll and it has to be in a matter of months, right? It's
Oh,
not years or whatever, which probably was what it should take. But then obviously with bodybuilding, you've got a shorter time frame to work with. And so, they'll easily come down, let's say January, they'll come to you at, at 190. And then, a women's physique competitor wants to get on stage at, in June, July, August,
right.
and they're getting on stage at something like 140,
Oh,
something like that.
wow.
So it's a lot. And that's the discipline mindset. That's where those options come out, right? It's like, nope, you don't get to pick and choose anything. This is what you're going to do. And
Right.
so I think for competitors, that's probably the most drastic of changes.
Okay.
Just because the time frame within a lifestyle client, we can definitely, someone can come to me that same weight, and then, we'll take 8, 9 months, what I'm saying, to get down to that 140,
Wow.
or
Wow.
something like that. So yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of success stories come with the older competitors,
Right.
which is, and the moms, because that's what I get. That's what I got most of. Was a lot of the moms that are like, hey, I've seen you go through that, so I know that it's not impossible. I know,
Wow.
right? So it's like, and that's great that you're encouraging in that level, and then not even taking it a step further, and then taking the competition piece away from it. Just people like Tanya and like Susie and whoever that are like, hey, that's the lifestyle that I want. I know that it's possible, to
Right.
just even do, right. I don't want to get on stage, but this is maybe the look that I want to maintain,
Right. Right.
which is what I'm doing right now, right? Because I, tell my friends like, hey, if my objective is to motivate, inspire, and do all those things as a mom, as a busy working mom, right?
Yes. Yes.
Then I can do that. There is nothing, absolutely nothing that's stopping me from doing that at all.
Absolutely. Wow. That's amazing. And what area are you in? Is the what question I've had.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I am in Dallas, Texas.
Oh, you're in Texas. Oh, I had the wrong place. I had you all the way in Atlanta.
Oh, okay, okay. I
You
was just
you were
recently
just there.
there, though. I
That's
think that's what
why.
I was telling you. I was
Yeah.
recently there last week. Yeah, last week.
Right. That's what it was. I was like Atlanta, and I was like, "Oh, she's gonna get a lot of business out there." But Dallas is just as good. I was just wondering because when people want to see you in person. Now, do you do any virtual training?
You know what? I don't. I
Okay.
have
Well, I'm
not
just
yet,
curious.
but that's
I'm just
definitely some. But that's where, and I don't want to talk about bring financial stuff into it, but
right.
that's where, a lot of trainers, that's where they do best, is doing, the virtual training, because, people are busy and they want to work with certain trainers. Like I said, maybe they want to work with the mom, maybe they want to work with the dad, maybe they want to
Right.
work with such and such,
Right.
and they're like, hey, I've been following this person, and they've delivered some results, that I really like. So virtual training can come in handy, especially people who are really busy, who can't necessarily just get out and drive to a gym, or necessarily even want to. The gym can be a really intimidating place,
Right.
for some people, especially if you're new and you're not really sure. And a lot of times it can be less expensive than getting a trainer, from a gym, which sometimes could be a little bit expensive. So,
Yeah.
virtual training, I think, it's a shift, and I think that's kind of the direction that a lot of trainers are going into now. So.
Wow. Well, it saves everybody time. Actually, that's really what it does. I mean, although in person is fun because you get to actually tangibly see your
I
trainer.
think so. I think that,
Like
and it motivates you just a little bit more.
it holds you accountable more too.
Absolutely, because you
I
have to,
come
right.
in and I'm like, oh, what's looks like you gained a couple pounds, Miss Cooper. I'm like,
That's true, because there's only so much you can, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're right. To your point, there's only so much motivation you can provide through a screen like this, right? Versus, right, really motivating that person to get up and go. Especially if you're a trainer that, they're seeing you, they're
right,
physically seeing you. You're
right.
training them, and they're like, okay, that's what I want. That's what I'm going to get. So yeah, to your point,
Well,
I
that's
agree with that as well.
yeah, no, it's good because when I see my trainer, also when I look at their body, I'm like, that's where I'm trying to get to.
Hmm.
Working on that goal. That's the goal. So every
Yeah,
day reminded of that in a good way without being overbearing.
sure,
Um, I
sure.
like that. So last thing I'll ask you is
Mhm.
the big thing now is heart attacks and everybody's overeating and over it, get over it, medicating and everything else. What is there any new thing on the horizon for cardio and for people, working out? Anything new happening?
Not new, but what people forget about, like, when people think of cardiovascular activity, they think it has to be all of this like CrossFit and get on and go run 50,000 miles and go do this. And it could be as
Right.
simple as, yeah, like I have a lot of friends. Yeah, taking a week off is good. Yeah, the recovery is just as important, right, as lifting the weights. It could be as simple as like I have bodybuilders. It can be as simple as getting up in the morning before you eat anything, when you have time, clear your mind, getting out and walking, even if it's just like a mile, even as people forget about the benefits of that, really
Yeah.
just getting out and walking. And then that's helpful in many different ways, right?
Yes. I walk
Spiritual
about
ways,
5 miles a day.
mental ways. That's great. And people forget about that. Like, a lot of people, like, you see all these things on Instagram where people are in the gyms and they're doing all these silly things and crazy things and jumping and flipping and this and that. And I'm like, don't fix what's not broken. Like, don't forget about, don't let people trick you into thinking like, okay, you have to do these certain
Right.
exercises for heart health, right? That's, getting up and walking and moving,
Right.
and getting that blood flowing is getting up and walking and moving and getting that blood flowing. So people
Right.
often forget about the benefits of that, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be, and I think that's what's in people's mind. They've got to do all these crazy things
Yes.
in order to like achieve certain goals. And a lot of it's just cutting out stuff that you're not supposed to eat out of your diet and getting
Yes.
up and getting moving. It doesn't
Like
have to
bread,
be,
pasta, rice.
yeah,
Well, pasta's
exactly.
good. I
Exactly.
think it's only good if you are about to work out. I think, or
Wait, say it
after.
again.
Pasta's only good if you're about to work out. I think it is.
Sure. It can,
Yeah, I
yep,
think
yep,
is
yep,
it a
yep,
burn
yep,
or
yep.
something? Something
Hmm.
like that. But I eat spelt pasta if I eat pasta.
Yeah.
Unless I'm going to work out, which is highly improbable these days, except for in this form of roller skating and walking 5 miles. And
Hmm.
yoga. I do yoga. So it depends how you call it. But
Yeah.
pasta and rice and bread, if you just cut those out, I believe you cut
That's
half your
yeah.
calories.
Yeah, you don't need it. It's here. It's here. You don't need it. You're like,
Yeah.
you don't need that hamburger. I mean, if
No.
you want to treat yourself to a meal or two, once a week, that's completely fine. But I think it's just getting into the habit. Like, it's hard for people to get into to even start the habit of doing that, right? And
What
to
do
your
you
point,
eat? Is what because your skin is flawless.
oh, thank you so
I'm like,
much.
I'm like, okay, even if she had on makeup, her elbow, her shoulders are still flawless and matching her face. So something's going on here. What you gotta tell us the secret? Because
Yeah, so
I'm
shameless plug.
lost.
I take 1 scoop of my collagen every day, and I actually take collagen in multiple forms. I take powder form in Allsport Pharmaceuticals, and then I take a pill form in a totally different supplement
Okay.
provider. But
Okay.
that is actually very helpful. Water. So people forget about that water. And I literally and primarily I do work from home, and so I'm literally just water. Like, my water is never empty.
Okay.
And people forget about that too, right? We start reaching for whatever soda or juice. People are
Right.
like, I drink juice, and they're not realizing the amount of sugar in it, added sugar, and all
Mhm.
those things. So people forget about
Sugar. Sugar.
the
Number one evil.
number one evil. The
It's a
number
good
one evil.
evil, but it's a bad evil
Yep,
because
and people like, and when I say that to people, like, don't eat, avoid the sugar, and the first thing people will be like, well, what do you mean? I don't eat sweets, but sugar is in almost everything. It's in the sauces
bread,
that you put on
sauce.
top of your food. It's in your salad dressing that you're putting on
Yes.
top of your salad. It is
Egg.
in a lot of things that people
Exactly.
don't pay attention to. So it's not just because you're not eating a piece of cake that
Yeah.
you're not digesting sugar in some regard. So that's the things those types of things that we um need to be mindful of, that we aren't. And to your point, people, like you said, they just don't know. Like, they're not paying attention to, like, the sugar being in those things. They're like, but
I
I'm not
didn't
eating.
know either. I mean, I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you. It's a thing
Hmm.
that I just started learning in the last 10 years about this stuff.
Yeah.
Even though I had a brother that worked out ferociously. But the eating piece, it wasn't until I saw something on Dr. Sebi that I started investigating food. And then I just so
Hmm.
had happened to be eating pretty okay. Even
Yeah.
when I was in my worst days, I was still better than most people. But now I actually understand the structure of what a cell is in my body and what
Hmm.
role it plays in my body and why I need to keep that cell pure and whole and
Yeah.
what nutrients it takes
Yeah.
to get that cell to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like it
And
goes that deep. Like
and to your point of avoiding the processed food, because that's where all of that unnatural stuff kind of comes into play that you're putting into your body. So
a
yeah,
lot of stuff we have no idea. Even when they say it's natural, natural doesn't mean it's natural.
it
It doesn't
doesn't.
doesn't mean totally natural. I just find so many, like even your sauce. I like to buy, if I have to buy sauce and don't make it from scratch, it's Ray's sauce. Why?
Mhm.
That's all it has in it is the tomatoes, the olive oil, and I forgot what
Yeah,
else.
and you can look at those things and see what's, in the ingredients. Like I said, a lot of that stuff you can't pronounce. A lot of
Yes,
those things, have
yes.
all kinds of additives in them. And that's where I don't eat that. Like yes, we are eating those things, right? It's because we're not mindful
Doing
of
it.
it.
We're doing it. We're doing it. Yeah, no, it's so it's very hard today because when our parents were growing up and our grandparents, they were on farms, so everything was natural. And they
Yes.
didn't have, like, you go to the candy store like once maybe if you're lucky once a month, and they
Yeah.
say, "Nickel, go to the candy store." But that now it's like, okay, so I need my candy now. That's the fix now for
Yep.
kids and
Yep.
teenagers. That's the whole. I need my Twinkies. I need my McDonald's. I need my this. And I'm like, dude, I just talked to two kids the other day at they were at Chipotle, and I was getting some rice and with beans, whatever I was getting, I don't know. But they were like, dude, I'd rather go to McDonald's because like I get a $1 deal. And I
Right.
said, okay, I'm the little Debbie Downer that just interjects for a second. I was like, you guys look very fit. He's like, yeah, we work out and everything. And I was like, dude, okay. So you're gonna go to McDonald's, you're gonna get this $1 Mac meal, whatever, but you have no nutrients in your body. So all
Right.
that workout is gone down the drain.
I
And they were like,
know.
oh, I never thought of that. And I was like, think about it. Think about it. Next time, come. I'd rather you come here than to, even if you added the rice. I wouldn't want to add the rice because I do it sometimes, but I know rice is bad. It turns right to sugar, right? Unless it's black rice or wild rice, I think it is. It turns to sugar, so it's still
Mhm.
bad. But just come here rather than McDonald's. I'm just saying, no shame, McDonald's. I'm just saying you did your job.
Exactly.
It's over. It's
Exactly. Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
American health has proven that we need to have another way.
Yep. Absolutely.
So, thank you so much for taking the time to
Of
come.
course, it's
Anything
so
new
much
you want to
fun.
tell us, or anything new coming up on the horizon that we don't know about in the fitness world?
Not, I mean, yeah, just I'm just excited about the business. Yeah, if
Yes,
people want to go check it out,
yes,
www.allsportpharmaceuticals.com, and you can get
right.
any
Oh,
questions.
I thought I put it up here. I didn't put it up here. No, wait. So what is it again? www dot
Mm-hmm.
uh, all
Allsportpharmaceuticals.com.
sport
Yeah.
pharmaceutical.
Yeah. CEUTI. Yeah.
I always get it like so
Right. Yeah. No,
not not
understood.
S, no S.
Yes. NS. Mm-hmm.
.com. Okay, I think I
Mm-hmm.
got it right. Let's see if I can get this right. Let me see. Let me see. Here we go. Tell me if that's right.
That's it.
Or pharmaceutical guys, that's
Yeah.
the site you can go to and check
Perfect.
out the nutrients. I love what she's doing. And Tanya Wheatfall, you are awesome. We appreciate you so much for taking the time to come and
Yes. That's so much
check us
fun.
out. Anybody out here? Let's see who's out here. Joe, anybody has a question out here? Doctor can have. Joe, I see you're out here, and I know you like to work out. If you have a question, ask it real quick in the chat, and I'll try to put it up for you. If you have up, here we go. What did you say? Oh, did I ever see the guy? Will it be available for replay? Yes, it will. Good talk show. Thank you. I'm trying to get a question out of you, man. Question. Soda's bad. Tony, soda is bad for us. You ever see the guy on Instagram? He walks around the gym and says to people, "I need to clean here." And he lifted up the heavy weights in front of the pro bodybuilders.
No, I don't think I've seen that
No,
one.
no, Joe.
To
I've
see what
never
that
seen that.
is.
But now you have me searching for it. Yeah, Tony, we know soda is very bad. And the doctor does say, oh, yeah, walking helped my dad. He's out of a triple heart attack. And he was a very happy man. Don't worry. Don't feel sorry for him. He was very
Yeah.
happy. He's like, I've only been to the doctor twice in my life. Don't feel sorry for me. So he was very happy about this.
Yeah.
But, a farm boy, whatever, farm boy, Virginia boy, whatever. So he was very happy. But walking, they said, is what gave him extra 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. People forget about it. They think they have to go in and do all the crazy stuff, and absolutely not.
No, absolutely. I'm all for just moderation and trying to do what you can with what you have. So I'm very big on that. But you've inspired me to make me say, I honestly think if I worked out really hard for the next 6 months, I can get a body like darn close. Because I'm only like a size 8 now. I'm like an 8, but I'm an 8 going toward the 9 in the belly.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
You know how that goes after kids. Listen, after kids 34 years ago and 26 years ago, excuse maker. But
Right.
but I do have the type of body that that picks up muscle and fast, which is why I don't work out much because I'll look like a man in a matter of like literally a matter of months if I do too much. So
Around.
I try not to do too much, just enough to. I just want to flatten. That's all.
Sure.
Flatten it.
Sure.
I can't lift too much, but
Yeah, then
I
that's
want.
probably more diet really than
It
anything,
is.
right? So,
It is. It is. I've been cheating. I was in Paris and I was in somewhere else, and I was like, well, this is the one place if I was gonna try to eat meat, this would be the place I would try to eat peas. And then I
yeah,
said,
yeah,
baguettes. I have to have a piece of baguette, and I have to be able to keep on.
absolutely. I definitely would not go to Paris with a mindset of like, let me find some of the cleanest
Yeah,
food possible.
yeah. It was just like, oh, what? It's like you can't go to like Scotland or somewhere and not have just this much meat, just a
Of
little
course.
bit,
Of
So
course.
I don't know, but I'm back on track because in America, I don't try. I try not to touch no meat, even organic. I try not to touch it, but I have been known to, not say no if someone,
Sure.
the right
Sure.
person, is cooking. So it is what it is. But thank you so much for taking the time for being with us, guys. You have been listening to On the Town with Tanya, and I am with the fabulous Tanya Wheatfall, fitness enthusiast, and how do we say vitamin? What do we call it? What do we call it? Nutritional supplement owned business, woman owned business.
Yes, that
Okay.
works.
All of the above. You know what I'm
All of
saying?
the above.
So check
Yes.
her out because that's well done. Brilliant mark on that one. Brilliant mark.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sometimes
I
we don't
appreciate it.
utilize all the areas like we should. Like, girl, get the vitamins, get the book,
Yep.
go with the TikTok. I mean, all of it. Are you on TikTok?
You know what? I am, but I need to get better
Oh,
about doing that. Most of
okay.
my, the audience, when most of your audience is on a certain platform, you're like, okay, this is what
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna,
TikTok is, I mean,
but it is.
I've never really been a big fan of any of them. But when I would do TikTok, I'd have like 20,000 views on something, and you
I
don't see
know,
it.
but for TikTok, I realized I need to do more of like this, like be more like
Okay.
vocal versus like, you know what I'm saying? Like post like a little second clip. Cause a lot of people on TikTok, I realize are like, they're sharing information.
Right.
So I need to figure out what information is good to share, outside of just my vitamins. You know what I'm saying? Cause a
Well,
lot of
I
people,
would like to see if I saw you, I'd like to see. So after 3 kids, this is how I worked on my core, and you're in the gym showing that one exercise. That's it.
oh,
Or
okay.
like, my arms, they'll never be sagging because I do this. Those are the things I'd like to see as a mom,
All
So
right. That's a good idea.
yeah, even if it was a clip, I would be
That's,
like, TikTok, let's go.
that's a great idea.
Yeah,
That's a good
yeah.
idea.
So,
Thank you
so
for that.
yeah, no, of course, anytime, because I love people, but I love women who do other things to help other people.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
I always say we're the leaders of everything, but don't let me tell it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys were like, "What are you saying?" Nothing. But thank you so much for taking the time. And when I will actually hang out with me while I say goodbye to everybody. Hey
Sure.
guys, thank you so much for. Oh, thank you, Joe. You guys are nice, and thank you, Anthony. We appreciate you guys for taking the time to watch. I really do. So do me a favor and share if you can, because why? Sharing is caring, and
Absolutely.
somebody out there needs to be inspired. So, and make sure you check out. I am airing Wednesday, and I should be with Dr. Omar Johnson. So make sure you check out that show as well. All righty. And for now, I guess who's that? See you next week. Yes. Make sure I'll be back on Wednesday and Sunday. So make sure you check me out Wednesday night. And I'm going to be 9 p.m. Wednesday, unusual time, 9 p.m. Wednesday with Dr. Umar Johnson talking about children and drugs and education. Very
Oh, it's a great
important.
one. That sounds like a great one.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a good one because it's just plaguing certain communities, and we got to do
Sure.
something about it. So let's see what happens. But thank you guys. And before I hold up Tanya any longer, hang out for 1 minute, Tanya, and I'll get
Sure.
right back. I'm just going to end this real quick. All right, guys, here we go. Okay. Thank you, guys. I will see you next week. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And RIP to my friend John. Love you forever.